Let's be honest. There's a truth most men are afraid to admit. You can do everything right, be kind, considerate, willing to sacrifice, and still feel invisible. Meanwhile, you see other men. They don't even try that hard. They're not always available. Sometimes they even say no. And yet they receive the attention, the respect, and the desire. Is there a massive gap between what women say they want and what they actually feel attracted to? Today, we're going into those 10 uncomfortable truths, the unspoken rules of male attraction that women feel in their bones, but almost never publicly acknowledge. We'll talk about the dark side of attraction, the primal psychology behind emotion, and principle #10 will show you what women are truly seeking in a man, something even deeper than love. But, hold on. Before we begin, I need to be crystal clear about one thing. This video is not about manipulation, not about deceiving women or learning cheap tricks to get someone. It's also not an attack on women's intelligence or value. Of course not. This is about truth, about decoding the deep psychological and evolutionary patterns that have existed for thousands of years, whether we like them or not. This is about understanding human nature at its most primal level. It's crucial to emphasize, these mechanisms don't make women bad, nor do they make men superior. They simply show that humans, both men and women, react to deep psychological structures, not to the pretty slogan society often teaches us to believe. Most men go through life completely blind to these truths. They listen to the surface words, but completely miss the subtext, the nonverbal reactions, the things that actually make a woman's heart flutter. And that gap between words and emotional reality is where most men lose the game right from the starting line. So, if you're ready to see past the surface, to understand the real psychology behind attraction, then let's begin. Principle 1. She's not attracted to your effort. She's attracted to your state. This is the first and perhaps hardest truth to swallow. Women don't love you for what you do for them. They're attracted to who you are in the moment. You can do all the right actions, give gifts, send messages, show care. But if you do it with the energy of someone begging for approval, you will fail. Miserably. Because women don't read actions first. They read energy. Your voice. Your eyes. The calm in your posture. The quiet confidence radiating from you. When you show up in a full, grounded, self-satisfied state, you emit a different frequency. And that's what they sense from across the room. The man who strives with desperate energy says, "Choose me, because I've done everything for you." The man in a grounded state doesn't need to say anything. His presence says, "I am already whole. And if you want, you can step into this world of wholeness." One is pressure. One is an invitation. Which one do you want to be? And the paradox lies here. It's precisely when you no longer need to be chosen that you begin to become choosable. Principle 2. The harder you try to prove you're good, the more attraction you lose. Picture this. You walk into a store, and the salesperson immediately rushes over, constantly boasting, "My product is the best. Buy it, I'll give you a discount." How do you feel? You want to run away. It's the same. When you try too hard to prove to a woman that you're a good man, that you're worthy, you accidentally become that salesperson. You're telling her, indirectly, "I am not valuable enough for you to choose naturally, so I must persuade you with service and promises." That over-effort reeks of neediness. And nothing kills attraction faster than the smell of neediness. Real attraction doesn't need advertising. It just needs to be discovered. Principle 3. She senses your energy before she hears your words. This might sound similar to what you just heard in the previous principle. But this is a deeper layer of the same issue, not who you are, but what your nervous system is saying on your behalf. Forget what you planned to say. Within the first 3 seconds of meeting, she's already read you. Is your voice shaky or calm and deep? Do your eyes avoid or hold focus? Are you breathing rapidly or deep and steady? Your entire physiology is screaming a story. You can say the most romantic line in the world, but if you say it with the voice of an anxious 14-year-old boy, it won't work. Conversely, you can say the most normal thing, but with the tone of a calm, decisive man, and it becomes attractive. This isn't about acting. This is about the authenticity of your inner emotion. Your energy can't be faked long-term. It is the most honest reflection of your internal state. So, instead of memorizing pickup lines, learn to master your own emotions. Learn to be calm. Learn to breathe. Because your steady voice is more captivating than any pre-written poem. Principle 4. Real safety comes from stability, not from indulgence. Most men get this tragically wrong. They think, if I agree with everything, if I always make her happy, she'll feel safe and stay with me. Wrong. Dead wrong. Agreeing with everything doesn't create safety. It creates boredom and unreliability. On an instinctual level, women seek someone who can stand firm in a storm. If you can be shaken by her frown, by a bad mood, by a gnaw, how can she trust you to stand firm against the real challenges of life? Emotional safety doesn't come from you avoiding all conflict. It comes from her knowing that, when conflict happens, you will not crumble. You won't become aggressive, nor will you become weak. You will hold your frame. That is what gives her the real feeling of being protected. Principle 5. She doesn't want to control you. She wants to know you can't be controlled. Think deeply about this. Women, just like men, have unconscious testing mechanisms. This isn't a game, and it's certainly not conscious calculation. It's an old survival mechanism, operating quietly in every intimate relationship. She might unconsciously push you to see if you hold your boundaries, to see if you're easily manipulated by her emotions, to see if you'll abandon your principles just to gain her approval. And here is the underlying truth. Women cannot respect a man they can fully control. When you say no calmly, with respect, not with anger, but with clarity, you show her the most important thing. You respect yourself. And if you respect yourself, you'll know how to respect her properly too. A clear boundary, defended with composure, is more attractive than 100 concessions made for approval. Principle 6. Attraction increases when your life doesn't revolve around her. Imagine you are a party. If you're a boring party with only one guest, you'll try desperately to keep that guest at all costs, right? You'll become needy. But if you're a vibrant party, full of laughter, great music, and interesting people, you don't need to cling to anyone. People find their way to you, and they want to stay. Your life is the same. When you have a rich life, a career you're passionate about, friends you value, hobbies that captivate you, you become that party. You don't need a woman to complete you. You are already nearly complete. You want her to share in that abundance. And that creates a massive difference in energy. One is the energy of neediness. One is the energy of abundance. Women are attracted to abundance. Always. Principle 7. She's attracted to depth, not predictability. We humans are drawn to what we haven't fully figured out. Have you ever read a book where you knew every plot twist? You put it down. A predictable man is like that book. He's safe, but boring. There's nothing to discover. But a man with depth. He's like a great novel. Every time you meet, you discover a new layer. Unexpected humor. Deep knowledge in an area. An emotional life story. Contemplation about life. That depth creates curiosity. And curiosity is the fuel for attachment. Don't rush to expose all of yourself from the start. Be a story told one chapter at a time. Let her be eager to turn the next page. Principle 8. Real confidence comes from being okay with not being chosen. This is perhaps the most important lesson about demeanor. Fake confidence is, I'm confident because I think she'll like me. Real confidence is, I'm confident because I'll be okay, whether she likes me or not. When you tie your happiness and self-worth to the outcome, she must say yes to me, you hand all your power to someone else. You become volatile, anxious, and thirsty for approval. But when you truly accept any outcome, including rejection, a miraculous thing happens. You are liberated. You no longer act from fear. You act from freedom. And nothing is more attractive than a free man. He doesn't need you. He wants you. And that is a difference that changes everything. Not needing someone doesn't mean not knowing how to love. It just means you don't trade away yourself to be kept. Principle 9. She responds to principles, not to reasons. You can argue about reasons, but you can't argue about a principle. I don't like doing that. That's a reason. It can be questioned. Why? It's fun. That's not something I do. That's a principle. It needs no further explanation. Principles are your non-negotiable boundaries. They come from core values, from self-respect, from life lessons. They aren't rigid, but they are solid. When a woman sees you live by principles, not because you're stubborn, but because you know who you are and what you stand for, she will respect you. And respect is the foundation of all lasting, deep affection. A man without principles is a ship without a rudder, and no one wants to board such a ship for a long journey. Principle 10. What she's truly seeking is to be herself without fear. We've reached the final and deepest principle. After all the confidence, the stability, the mystery, women are searching for one thing that few men can actually give them. It is an emotionally safe space where they can let go of everything. They can drop the tough shell, the strong face, the social masks they have to wear all day. They can be the mischievous child, the dreamy girl, the vulnerable, wounded, complex woman, without fear of judgment, without fear of being used, without fear of abandonment. They aren't seeking perfection in you. They're seeking your presence, a presence so grounded, accepting, and peaceful that it allows them to just be themselves. The most attractive thing you can do is not to become perfect, but to create a peaceful harbor for another's soul. When you heal your own insecurities, when you are stable enough not to be swept away by their emotional waves, you give them a priceless gift, emotional freedom. And when a woman feels fully accepted by a man that's stable, that's not mere attraction anymore. That's when she can surrender completely in trust. And that is the foundation of an unbreakable connection. These 10 truths, they are uncomfortable not because they're evil, but because they shatter sweet illusions. They tell you this: attraction is not a to-do list. It is a state of being. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become the most grounded, most complete version of yourself. When you stop chasing approval and start living from your intrinsic value, everything changes. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need to perform. You just need to be. And the world, along with the right people, will adjust to meet that man. If this video resonated with you, if it made you look at how you've been showing up in the world, then let me know by liking this video. And if you want to continue this journey, the journey not to become the man women want, but to become the man you yourself can admire, then subscribe and hit the notification bell. Because this is just the surface. There are so many deeper layers of psychology, emotion, and personal development that we will explore together. Remember this: the greatest journey is not about conquering someone else. It's about conquering yourself. When you master the person within, the world outside mirrors that back. Until next time, live strong, live authentic. And remember, the strong man doesn't go looking for shade. He becomes the tree.